Happy Friday. Here's an AFN news update for you. I'm Bronson Woodruff. The Biden administration is canceling federal student loans for another 55,000 workers through an existing program known as Public Service Loan Forgiveness. The Education Department's announcement today targets teachers, nurses, service members, law enforcement officials, and others who've reached eligibility through the program, which promises to erase loans after 10 years of work in government or nonprofit jobs. The $4.28 billion in relief is expected to be the final round of public service loan forgiveness before President Biden leaves office in January. With the latest round of relief, Biden has now canceled an unprecedented $180 billion in federal student loans through existing programs, covering 4.9 million Americans. That includes $78 billion for roughly 1 million borrowers through PSLF. Alaska Governor Mike Dunleavy has asked the incoming Trump administration to include oil and gas exploration in the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge and to reverse restrictions on logging and road building in other areas of the resource-rich state. Dunleavy has asked Trump to issue a state-specific executive order that would set in motion, quote, critical agency actions that would restore opportunity to Alaska, end quote, in line with Trump's first administration. Alaska has a long history of fighting what it sees as federal overreach, particularly when it comes to decisions that hinder development of the state's vast resources. Amazon workers affiliated with the Teamsters Union continued to strike today at 7 of the company's delivery hubs, just days before Christmas. The workers voted to authorize strikes in recent days. They joined picket lines on Thursday after Amazon ignored a Sunday deadline the union had set for contract negotiations. Workers at Starbucks stores are also going on a 5-day strike starting today to protest lack of progress and contract negotiations with the coffee company. Amazon, for its part, said it does not expect the strike at delivery stations to impact holiday shipments. Packaged foods in the U.S. will now have to follow new rules in order to call themselves healthy, according to changes finalized Thursday by the Food and Drug Administration. It's an update of the agency's definition originally devised 30 years ago. The FDA said the move is aimed at helping Americans navigate food labels at the grocery store and make choices that are aligned with federal dietary guidelines in hopes of reducing rates of diet-related chronic disease. Under the rule, products that claim to be healthy must contain a certain amount of food from one or more food groups, such as fruit, vegetables, grains, dairy, and protein. And for the first time, the rule sets certain limits for added sugars. The FDA said foods must also limit sodium and saturated fat at levels that depend on the type of product. Drivers and airline passengers without reindeer and sleighs better make a dash for it. It's beginning to look a lot like another record for Christmas-time travel here in the U.S. The Auto Club AAA predicts that more than 119 million people will travel at least 50 miles from home between Saturday and New Year's Day, which would top the previous holiday season high set in 2019. Airlines expect to have their busiest days on Friday and Sunday, and on the December 26th, 27th, and 29th. Traffic is expected to be light on both Christmas Day and New Year's Day. That'll do it for this AFN News Update. Don't forget, you can find much more news from a Christian perspective on our website, afn.net. Thank you for watching. I'm Bronson Woodruff.